Imagine this spine-chilling scenario. What if one of history's most notorious serial killers who terrorized the 19th century suddenly showed signs of emerging from the shadows to resume her gruesome legacy? Picture unraveling a puzzle only to discover that this time the killings are interwoven with a sinister supernatural element, hinting at ritualistic sacrifices. Greetings, my dear horror fans. This is your Moonlight Whisperer, Alex, delving deep into the shadows tonight. We're about to uncover a chilling narrative that mirrors the terrifying deeds of Amelia Dyer. Known as the Ogress of Reading, Dyer was infamous for the horrific murders of hundreds during Victorian England. She met her end on the gallows, forced to watch her own execution reflected in a strategically placed mirror, a haunting image that might just have transcended the grip of death itself. But before we dive into this story, if you're new here, consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes today, so hit that like button if you enjoy the content. So the story goes like this. Two kids were cycling through the dense woods, enjoying the freedom of an open trail when an unusual sight in a nearby bush caught their attention. Dropping their bikes, they approached, curiosity drawing them closer to something utterly out of place amidst the greenery. As they peered into the shadows, a sudden chill enveloped them. The air grew thick and heavy with an ominous stillness. Just as they processed the dreadful visual, a deep, guttural roar shattered the silence, sounding almost supernatural in its intensity, as if it was coming for them. Instinct kicked in. The children knew this was no longer a safe haven to play. Terror took hold, and they ran as if their lives depended on it, not daring to glance back at the source of the sound. After what seemed like an eternity, they burst out of the tree line, hearts pounding and lungs burning. They raced to the nearest police station and reported the incident. The police, intrigued and concerned, started their investigation. They discovered it was a homicide. A child, roughly 7 months old, had been strangled. However, this was no ordinary case. The body bore unusual markings. These markings appeared intentional, eerily similar to those found on victims of other homicides. The resemblance suggested a chilling connection between the incidents, and moreover, it seemed ritualistic. As Officer John from the CID began piecing together the clues to uncover the identity and motives of the killer, a cryptic similarity caught his attention. Among the evidence was a bracelet found at the crime scene, presumably belonging to the victim, and surprisingly, the style of crime bearing an eerie resemblance to a notorious criminal known as the Ogress of Reading. Meanwhile, 2 years passed, but the police were nowhere near solving this murder mystery. As Officer John delved deeper into the mystery, another case came to light. A man named David Hughes visited the police station to report a missing person, his wife. The circumstances were perplexing. There was no apparent reason for her disappearance. There were no signs of a struggle, no note, and the family had no known enemies. What baffled the husband even more was the fact that despite his wife being missing, all the doors and windows of their home were securely locked from the inside, suggesting she had vanished without a trace from within the house. Suddenly, Officer John's attention was drawn to something intriguing. He noticed what appeared to be a bracelet on David's wrist. When questioned, David explained that it was a gift from someone who identified herself as Sister Claire. This detail piqued Officer John's curiosity because the bracelet closely resembled the one found at the homicide scene in the woods. This led Officer John to inquire about their relationship with Sister Claire and when they had last seen her. David explained that Sister Claire was a member of his wife's congregation, and they had known her for almost a year. She had been at their house the previous night for dinner and to bless their home. The reason for her visit was that, for the past week, David's wife had been experiencing hallucinations, seeing and hearing things that were not there. This behavior was likely due to the stress they were under, as it was the anniversary of their 5-year-old daughter's passing. Moving into a new house recently had also added to their stress. Sister Claire had come to bless the house in the hopes of alleviating these hallucinations and preventing any further incidents. Officer John inquired about any unusual behavior or observations concerning Sister Claire. David mentioned that Sister Claire seemed oddly fixated on a mirror in their house. She explained to David that a similar mirror existed in her grandmother's house, and she had been obsessed with it as if she were waiting for someone or something. However, David didn't find this behavior particularly alarming. The blessing ceremony conducted by Sister Claire seemed to have a positive effect on the couple, especially Anya, who appeared satisfied with the ritual. David went on to mention that when asked about the supernatural sightings in the house, Sister Claire cryptically replied that the miracle growing inside Anya was an instrument of change and that the world would be blessed when it appeared. She hinted that Anya would eventually understand it all. After some time that day, Anya disappeared from the house, leaving no stress or clues behind. As Officer John grew more suspicious, he showed David a series of pictures to see if he could recognize anyone. After examining the photos closely, David identified one of the individuals as Sister Claire. Shocked, Officer John asked David to confirm, and David did so confidently. Officer John then revealed that Sister Claire was not a nun, but a person of high interest and a most wanted individual with allegations of copycat killings. As they delved deeper into Sister Claire's involvement in multiple killings, one missing piece didn't add up. All the homicides somehow involved children, but this time, this case seemed different. It was then that a chilling realization struck David. Anya was pregnant. Officer John asked if Sister Claire was aware of her pregnancy, to which David confirmed yes. The cryptic message from Sister Claire now made sense to both of them. The miracle growing inside Anya is an instrument of change, and the world will be blessed when it appears. And eventually, Anya will know it all. Realizing a crucial detail in the mystery, Officer John acted swiftly, rushing back to his cabin to scour all documents and evidence related to the case, hoping to rescue Anya before things took a turn for the worse. Amid his search, one particular document caught his eye, an old leaflet about a mythical creature from the underworld. It described the Ogress, a fearsome entity that serves the darkest evil, feeding on the young and innocent with one single objective: to become human. The document hinted that the entity only born pure can enter the river of man, and it mentioned a woman of faith carrying a child. Meanwhile, Anya awoke in the jungle, seemingly teleported to the nearby woods. As she looked around, an eerie feeling crept over her, and she sensed something unnatural following her. She tried desperately to flee, but luck was not on her side that night. The sounds of screams and screeching filled the air, disorienting her. Suddenly, the cacophony transformed into a demonic voice, and from the darkness, something began to enter her body like smoke through a window. So what unfolded there? Is Anya deceased? Is the Ogress now in possession of her soul? Was her stillborn child perhaps sacrificed? My perspective leans towards both Anya and her stillborn being alive. But the crucial question remains: who is Sister Claire, and what ties her to Amelia Dyer? Amelia Dyer, a chilling figure from the 19th century, stands as one of history's most notorious serial killers. She operated under the guise of a baby farmer, caring for infants in exchange for money, only to cruelly murder them through strangulation before discarding their bodies. Dyer's heinous crimes eventually caught up with her, leading to her arrest, trial, and execution by hanging. The prophecy regarding the Ogress now begins to unveil its sinister meaning. The Ogress seeks to be reborn in the human realm, and in her twisted logic, she sees Anya, a devoted woman, as the perfect vessel for her dark resurrection. Talking about Sister Claire, it seems she is treading a path eerily similar to that of Amelia Dyer. It is also possible that there might be a blood connection between them, hinted at by Claire's mention of her grandmother's peculiar obsession with mirrors. Here's the reason why I think they are related. Amelia Dyer met her end through execution, but it was not a mere hanging. She was executed in front of a mirror, a method chosen for its symbolic significance. As the noose tightened around her neck and her life ebbed away, Amelia Dyer's last sight was her own reflection in the mirror. This moment, the culmination of her gruesome deeds, imprinted itself on her soul. That is why after her death, her spirit, restless and tormented, became fixated on mirrors. This tormented spirit of Amelia Dyer, I believe, transcended into Sister Claire, influencing her actions and leading her to continue Dyer's dark legacy, seeking to bring the Ogress into the mortal realm through ritualistic sacrifices. As the shadows of the Ogress's impending arrival stretch closer, a critical question hangs in the air. Will it succeed in its dark endeavor? Officer John's swift action and sharp detective work hint at a formidable obstacle in its path. Can he thwart its sinister plans, or will it breach the barrier into our world, unleashing its terror? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your theories.
As we conclude our tale, I urge you to please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your feedback matters, so please share your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious and never lose hope. Thank you for tuning in.